Well, hey, good morning to you. It's a very warm one. It is, after all, the first day of summer. That happened this morning. Definitely feeling like it this afternoon. It's going to be even worse than what we're feeling now. Just got an update here on these feels like temperatures. Notice some areas already over that feeling like 100-degree mark. So, brings me to my next point of this heat advisory that's going on today. But just because you're not shaded in this pinkish shade, I mean, you got to take this heat seriously. So don't really focus so much on where this shading is. Everybody really needs to stay hydrated, stay cool today. Make sure that you're taking breaks if you're outside. You guys know how it is. We're also going to have those UV index. Those are going to be pretty high today too. So this is what we're looking at afternoon-wise. It's looking very, very warm here. Triple-digit heat index values really for the rest of the day. Going to the evening, even going to be a little bit on the warm side here. But overall today, it is going to be a warm one, a typical summer day, right? Except we're actually well above average. We should be more so lower 90s if we're looking at averages. But today, upper 90s likely all across the area, even the beaches making it to the lower 90s today. And usually those stay just a little bit cooler this time of the year. But notice here your heat index values up close to 110 for some of us briefly, but like yesterday, there's going to be a chance of rain. I don't think it's going to be as widespread as what we had yesterday. I also don't think we're going to have the potential for those stronger or isolated storms like we did yesterday as well. But whenever you have this much heat and energy, it only takes one of those storms, if it hogs all that energy, and could produce maybe a microburst like what potentially happened over in South Carolina yesterday. I hope not, but I do want to take you guys hour by hour with these rain chances. We are going to see them peak more so, you guys know by now, mid-afternoon into the early evening. As we get closer to dinner time or sunset, those rain chances go down with the sun. So not the best chance of rain today, but even if you don't get on the rain, here's the thing. You could be next to these showers and still get in on that rain-cooled air, but it's not going to be as nice as if you get under one of those showers. If you want it, not everybody wants the rain, but if you want it today, I hope you do get in on some of these rain showers. But first, before we go to the 7-day forecast and the rest of tonight, I want to take you hour by hour with the rain. So I do think we're going to stay dry here for the most part until, say, 2 o'clock. So we're pushing this back a little bit further. Notice we're all dry here. Low country, coastal empire, few inland showers, closer to 75. So for the mid-afternoon, actually looking pretty dry here. That means it's going to get hot. It's going to get sticky. Not too much relief for us there unless you get under a couple of clouds. But fast forward a little bit closer to, say, our evening commute. If you guys are watching on your lunch break, hope you're having a good day so far. But we get closer to the evening commute. This is 5:30 this evening. A few isolated showers consistently have been showing up closer to the Glenville, Statesboro, Jessup area. Those are kind of the hot spots for rain chances for today. What happens, though, as we go into, say, the 7 o'clock hour is these showers and isolated thunderstorms will continue to push inland to the coast. So same area still potentially getting in on those rain showers late this afternoon, early this evening. And it looks like the peak thunderstorm time really could be closer to just before sunset. Again, these are going to be isolated. You might be able to see these towering clouds from the north. If you're up here, looking to the south, or south looking to the north, depending on right where these pop up. But the threat of everybody getting thunderstorms, it's just not there for today. And typically how it is this time of the year. Not everybody gets in on the rain. But maybe you're going to have dinner on Hilton Head or Tybee, going out to one of those seafood restaurants anywhere along the coast. Mainly Savannah north, of those rain showers isolated, still possible for this evening, but the coverage is pretty low. So that takes me to this, your date night forecast. Hopefully you guys get out there, you have a nice evening, still very warm at 7 o'clock, still in the 90s, but that's without the heat index. So that's going to be more so closer to 100 still this evening. So very warm, take it seriously. Even though it's not the peak heating of the day, you're still going to sweat a lot. You're going to lose a lot of that I guess your electrolytes and water. You got to just drink up with the sports drinks and water today. And really, it's just best to hydrate beforehand anyways. Even maybe now, go fill up a bottle of water or something, because the more you can stay hydrated, the better you're going to feel later on, especially with peak heating heading our way. So this is our little sticky meter. It's subject to what you guys actually think is maybe muggy or not, but typically what we see is whenever you have the dew points, and we're going to do this by dew points. Once you have those in the mid to upper 70s, definitely not very comfortable at all. Muggy here, and also when you have that much moisture in the air, anytime you get a little bit of heat, that's when you got the big heat index difference from the actual temperature, which is what we're seeing now and what we're going to continue to see here. But the good news is I don't think we're actually going to continue to see heat advisories being issued. But like I said earlier, just because you're not under that heat advisory doesn't mean that you're going to not have a hot day. Probably just going to miss that threshold by the Weather Service by a couple of degrees. So just take it seriously no matter where you guys are at today. And if you have questions, you guys watching on Facebook, feel free to comment below. I'm going to be answering those for you guys here after we go, after we're done with this. So I ask your questions now. Let me know where you're watching from. I love interacting with y'all. But I do want to show you this, the 7-day forecast. It's very warm today. It's slightly cooler here as we go into the next couple of days. Now, what would Saturday be without a rain chance, right? It feels like the past few Saturdays, at least a little bit of rain on all of them. And we've got another chance coming up here on this Saturday, hopefully cooling you off a little bit, because once those showers start forming, then the temperatures are kind of capped off and we're going to see a downhill slide in those. But mid-90s through the beginning of next week, maybe closer to the middle of next week. I know it's not that big of a drop, but we are going to see a little bit of a downtick in those temperatures, at least hopefully. It is a little too warm for my liking this early on. But you know what, today's a great beach day. I know we've got cameras that are looking out at the beaches today. Some people enjoying that. They've been out there since sunrise this morning. Saw them out there with their flashlights. A warm day, good day to get in the water. Temperatures near 80 degrees, if not just above there. That's a look out at Tybee. But that goes for the same on all of our islands today. The Atlantic is in the 80s. So nice to get out there, but it is important to keep in mind that you need to keep your sunscreen reapplied if you guys are heading out to the beaches, because you know you're having fun, you don't think about it, you go jump in the water or you're sweating and you're relaxing, you're like, I don't care about sunscreen. Well, you'll care about it with those UV indexes above 10, 11, and you burn in 15 minutes. So that's just word of the wise for you guys today, a little parenting moment to you guys because we care about you. But if you have any questions, please feel free. Sorry, I've been up since like 2 this morning to ask them. I'd love to answer them. And if you want a more detailed forecast, I'll see you at noon. But until then, I hope you stay cool and enjoy the rest of your Thursday.